Hi everyone, my name is Christina and I'm an implementation consultant at Prosymmetry. This is part 3 of reviewing the general settings tile in Tempus resource. In this video, we will be walking through the data sync and alias tabs within this tile. These tabs give administrators options to configure data synchronizations and aliases throughout the system. In Tempus, you can configure data sync entity matches, establish out-of-the-box integrations, establish aliases for key points of Tempus, and more. So let's get started. To get to general settings, we will go to admin settings and then the green general settings tile. Again, in this video, we will be walking through the data sync and alias tabs. As a note though, the only tab we will not cover in this series is the resource request tab because that process and its configuration is covered in a separate video. So let's start with the data sync tab and walk through these settings. So the first option would make the demand dataset, which is one of the 2 datasets available to store assignment data, read-only to your users, which essentially locks it down during the data sync process. The next setting would automatically add resources to a project's build team if you are using the out-of-the-box Smartsheet and/or Excel assignment imports. But please note the Enforce Build Team option will need to be toggled on as well in the Global tab of this tile. For more information on the Build Team feature and its uses, please use our Help Center. Next is available synchronization. So here you can choose which data sync options are available when you are in your data sync tile within admin settings. Next is entity match. Entity match allows you to choose which data point the system will use to match records when bringing in data. You can choose name if you want the system to match on the resource or project's unique name. You can choose ID if you want to use the Tempus issued ID for each resource and project record. Or if you choose ID, you will see an additional option appears here to use the API external ID field that can be populated with your unique identifiers and used for matching. If you use this option, you will need to first populate the system field, API external ID, for both resources and projects with your unique IDs, and then it will use that data moving forward when loading in data. The next groupings of settings are specific to different ways you can integrate data with Tempus, including an on-premise Microsoft SQL Server option, Workfront synchronization options, and PPM Pro options. For more information on these integrations, please reach out to your customer experience representative to set up a call. Let's move on to the Alias tab now, where these settings offer the administrators the chance to change the name of key data points throughout Tempus to reflect your organization's specific verbiage. So the available data points you can change are project, which would change the project label throughout Tempus to your organization's naming convention. So examples could be initiative or epic or client and things like that. Next is the Tempus What If tile, so you can change the name of that. Maybe you want to call it your modeling tool or something of that sort. Next is the allocation unit of time, if you'd rather call it something like work or hours. Next is the BPA, which is the flat grid, default mode alias, which we commonly will recommend that you rename that to be called new assignments to better reflect what it's used for. Next is the file management project option. Next is your man day aliases, so both singular and plural forms. So you can change the name of man day to be something like person day, if that would be better reflective of your organization. Next are aliases for your allocation and demand datasets, if you'd like to change those to budgeted or scheduled or something of that sort. Next is the task alias to change the task label in all of your allocation grids. And then finally, you have the option to add a generic error text that administrators can customize. By default, the message says to contact Tempus support, but you can change it to something else. All of this, the settings here that are made in this tile or tab of this tile are all system-wide. So this wraps up the data sync and alias tabs within general settings. Please watch the other parts in this series to make sure you have reviewed all of the other tabs within this title as well. Thanks and have a great day.